And we're live on 313 in the 404, episode 134 of the Everybody Mad Live podcast on a Thursday, August the 24th. It's the 946th day of the Biden administration and another day that Trump is being indicted. My name is Sarah Lover. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Kid Kabine. Really appreciate you all checking us out. Shouts out to everybody rocking with us right now. We are live right now on Facebook. So want to send shouts out to everybody that's checking us out on Facebook. Make sure you spread the word. Let everybody know that we're live right now. And we're also live right now on YouTube. But we're also available on all podcast platforms. So wherever you stream your favorite podcast platform, wherever you stream your favorite podcast, make sure that you check us out. Sam, what's going on?
Follow us wherever you get their podcast at. That's helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Sam, man, I see the sling. You and I've talked. You got to tell everybody what's going on, brother. I mean, how are you doing up there in Detroit, bro?
I'm actually good. Well, you can't even see it, but yeah, I got my religion. I think it says walk by faith and God is dope or something like that on the back or whatever. But no, I was blessed because I had a little bike accident. You know, I bought a bike like 6 years ago and been riding the bike religiously like before the pandemic. So that's my joint. So I was riding, and like, you know, in 6 years I've never fallen off the bike or whatever. So I'm very cautious, very observant, and all that. I don't wear ear pods in both ears and stuff like that. So I pay attention, and then to you know, amongst all of our friend group, I'm always the one like, y'all too old to be falling. Like, be careful. Go get your checkup. So like, I'm always super cautious, and I'm always telling other people to be super cautious.
Right.
Last Thursday, I wasn't as cautious as I probably should have been because I was going to work. I had a meeting. So, and mind you, I ride my bike. So, because I live like 5 blocks away from work or whatever. So I ride my bike to the museum to go to work or whatever. So I had some extra stuff to carry. So I had my backpack on, which is this. So I had that on my back, and then I had another bag that I was carrying. So that was on the front. And then I needed to take some stuff into like some forms or whatever. So I couldn't carry on the back of my bike. So I just got a little tote bag and put the forms in the tote. Yeah. So I get on the bike and I'm riding. I got the backpack on, I got the sling on, I got the tote in one hand or whatever. And then as I got out the door of the garage, I'm realizing this is a little bit too much. So I put the tote on the handlebar. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit better. So the handlebar is now holding the tote. Well, the tote got to swinging while I was riding the bike. The tote swing and it swung inside of my front wheel, caught that, flipped me entirely over both wheels. I think I landed probably not face first because you know I'm really vain. So like something kind of told me to protect my face. So my face is all right, but my elbows and my forearms and all that stuff was jacked up or whatever. So I actually went to the ER on Thursday. And they actually revealed a fracture in my left elbow. So my first ever fracture at 45 years old.
Wow, man. Well, at least you're doing good. Is it painful right now? Is it still painful?
No, that's a good thing. It's not painful. I did one set of I have a follow-up next week or whatever, but they did look at the fractures really small. So he's hopeful that I won't need any surgery or anything like that. So it'll be able to heal on its own or whatever. So I'm blessed that it was like a best case scenario. If you're gonna fall off your bike, I didn't get the collarbone injuries that some people normally get and stuff like that or whatever. So yeah, I'm still out here trying to be young and still realizing that like when you fall, you don't get back up like you did when you're young. You won't get back up. But it's gonna be a little bit prolonged, and that's what I'm dealing with now. So maybe by next week I'll have off the sling, and maybe I won't have to fly with this to Atlanta because I got a trip planned. You know we got too much planned. Labor Day weekend and beyond to be in those things.
So then the gag is the shirt then, because the shirt says "Walk by what?" It's walk by faith. Right. Well, I mean, everything is cool down here in Atlanta. Been having a very productive week. I checked out. I went to this really authentic Chinese restaurant that was real authentic, like where like families of Asian people come up in there. And then it's crazy that I'm talking about it. I forgot the name of it. It's in Chamblee, Dunwoody. Peking Duck, I think that's what the name of it is. But Amazing restaurant. If you're ever in Atlanta, you got to check it out. The food is so authentic because they do dim sum. I wasn't familiar with dim sum. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I never experienced that before, but it was really cool. And so I want to send shots out to the people over there. They brought out like a whole duck and sliced it up, tore it down. It was amazing. So that's what's been up down here, man. But we got a lot of stuff we got to cover. Of course, Donald Trump. That's the big news right now. He's he's been arrested here. He's turned.
Actually, speaking live, this is the live feed from our affiliate in Atlanta. He was just booked. They did get his picture and fingerprint, just like any old criminal. And now I guess he decided he needed to have a press conference and tell everybody all about it. We'll listen.
And we were just listening to the former president, Donald Trump, speaking regarding these charges he's facing right here in Atlanta at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. The understanding now is that he will get directly back onto that plane and fly likely back to New Jersey. So what we just heard him say was a repetition of what we've been hearing the former president say now for a while. Ever since the 2020 election took place, he once again called it a rigged and stolen election, something that has been defunct by multiple different agencies, both of the government at the federal level and the
state. About that story, because it is really our top story today. But we do actually have a show outside of Trump that is planned for today. Certainly we'll talk about those 18 people who've been charged along with Trump with the indictment, because we was off last week, so we didn't get to talk about that. But we'll deep dive into it, because by now most everybody has gotten to the point to where they have surrendered themselves. But we'll talk about that. Got a little bit of talk about from a quick little joint about the Republican debate that was yesterday. Talk about this, and then something that's kind of alarming. Kenya, we'll talk about on the show. Is that it seems like, well, I ain't gonna say it seems like, we know it's been happening, but there's some more instances of police targeting young black kids. There's a 10-year-old in Mississippi and a 12-year-old in Michigan. We're going to highlight as a part of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, really unfortunate what's happening with young black youth. So we're going to tell you all about that. Also, as we have an update on the 6 Mississippi officers who tortured 2 men for hours. What happened in court? We're going to recap that, because that actually went down because we were off last week. So we're just going to recap that, give you our thoughts on that. Plus, it looks as though a woman has been charged after children under 12 years old. They were actually assaulted at a Greensboro apartment swimming pool. And a lot of people had something to say about it, and the woman actually came out with a statement. So we're going to tell you all about that too.
Yep, we'll talk about that. And also, you remember the crazy lady? Like I don't know about y'all. Y'all can stay on this plane, but that MF right there, he's not real. She's apologized, but it's actually a little bit more to the story that we didn't see. So we'll show a little bit about why she's apologizing and why she needed to. So we'll talk about that. As well as Nene Leakes, she's being sued for $22,000. I'll talk about that. And also, got some little tea. Raven-Symone brought Whoopi Goldberg onto a little show. She got a little podcast with her wife. Right. Brought her onto the show and called Whoopi Goldberg a lesbian to her face. We will see exactly how Whoopi responded.
Man, definitely can't wait. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off the show. You know, everybody was, we were off last week, but by now, you know, you've heard about what's going on right here in Atlanta. Donald Trump actually turned himself in. This is all regarding the election, the 2020 election, and that he actually tried to really just rig the election. So we just got through hearing from him. He's still saying that he is innocent. He didn't do any of this. But Sam, my whole thing is, there's tape of him trying to rig the election. So I'm just trying to figure out, how does he think he's going to get out of this right here? Especially because I know that online he just announced that he just got rid of his lawyer. He hired this high-powered lawyer here in Atlanta, this worked with a lot of rappers to get them off of the stuff that they've done. But we're talking about an election. You know, you're rigging an election. And a lot of people are like, come on, man, you know. But it's crazy because he has a lot of supporters, people that are just brainwashed that are really still saying, okay, look, he didn't do this. But it's like, again, we have tape. Donald Trump, come on, man, you got to wake up. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
But that's the beauty about all the stuff is that, like, yeah, he can say he didn't do it. So when you have disagreements, somebody said he did it, somebody said he didn't. That's why we have court. And then you present all the evidence out there, and then they'll decide who's the real person who's telling the truth on that or whatever. So like that's my thing. If you didn't do it, you should be welcoming and running to court, because that's the place where you can prove your innocence, and then you can get this all behind you. Because we've been calling you a liar pretty much since you've been the president. We've been calling you a crook ever since you've been in that White House or whatever. So if you are not a crook, a liar, you didn't cheat with this election, all that stuff, whatever, you should be running to this court with these other 18 people to be a part of it, of defending yourself and your good honor and that sort of thing. But I think, Kenya, they done met the wrong one.
Yeah.
They met the wrong one, because her name Fannie Willis, and she don't play.
Fannie don't play.
And the reason that I say she don't play is because she don't play about who it is and who it looks like or anything like that. She's been the one that prosecuted. Remember back in the late 90s, or was it early 2000s in Atlanta, they was cheating on those standardized tests in those schools so that they can get them bonuses. And so yep, they had that whole scandal going on. She took them down. There was a whole lot of black folk. She took them down. We realized recently, even with Slim Thug and his racketeering charges with guns and all those things like that. She's the lead prosecutor. Her office is doing that too. So she don't care. She don't care who you are. She don't care what you look like.
Right.
If you have a crime that happened somewhere in Fulton County, she's going to make sure that she puts something on you. And then she's an expert at RICO. She's an expert at all those conspiracies and all those things, which is those crimes on top of crimes that relate to another crime, because y'all trying to do this big crime.
Right. And RICO is usually like affiliated, like associated with like mafia bosses, like real hardcore criminals. So she don't care. Like Fannie's like, yo, this is what it is, and I'm taking you down. And I'm glad that you brought up the whole race issue too, because I see that a lot of Trump supporters are saying, oh, well, it's a race issue. No, she's really come for a lot of black people, and she's taken a lot of black people down.
In her time, looking at those high-profile cases, it's been more high-profile black people that she's taken down than anything. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact about her kind of target and like we say, there were a couple of black people who were in those 19 that were indicted with Trump. One of them was a kind of affiliated with Kanye, his publicist. What's her name?
Her name is Trevian Cootie.
Yeah, her. Her. She the one. And this is why I'm mad at her. She the one that went up to them black ladies and threatened and like got them all into it and got them scared and put all that mess into it and got all the other stuff in there. So like now she's the one that kind of helped start that point to where like these black ladies have been harassed and called and like all this stuff for years. Here's video of that.
A party that needs to tidy up. I work with some of the biggest names in the industry. Crisis is my thing. One thing we don't want to do for you is create another person. I'm going to call Harrison Floyd. I'm going to put him on speaker. Who is Harrison Floyd? Harrison Floyd is Harrison Floyd of that group of crisis management at a very high level with authoritative powers to get you protected that people need. The officers, this is at this moment a conversation in between private citizens. I am hoping that you are trusting that this information doesn't go any further. I have to honestly advise, I don't know her background.
I can step over there if you're comfortable. That's fine?
Yeah, I want her to be comfortable, but I also want to advise her that there are federal people who are involved here that I don't know who is connected to who. And I really need for her to be as nonchalant as possible with this conversation that we are going to have, so that if she does make a decision, she's protected in her decision.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, you know what? I gotta applaud the women, the sisters that really endured dealing with that BS from that woman, because you have people that are just really the poll workers. They're not getting paid. They're just volunteering. So they could have been like, you know what? Okay. Or they could have gotten scared because this woman, she's high powered, but you know what? They said, no, this is wrong. Yep. And so I got to give them props and I got to give them their flowers and applaud them for really like sticking to their guns and standing in the truth and saying, you know what, we're not going to deal with this right here. Because they could have just, been like, okay, let's go ahead and let her.
I don't want to deal with the hassle. I don't want to deal with it.
Or they could have been paid off, and I'm sure that they probably offered them money behind the scenes too, but I'm so glad they didn't. But anyway, that's kind of what went down with that. Now, as of right now, as we just saw, Trump, he has departed from Fulton County Jail here in Atlanta. He has taken his mugshot. Cannot wait to see the mugshot. I'm sure the mugshot is going to go viral. Everybody's waiting for that. And he also has the other 18 co-defendants. There's a lot of them have already turned themselves in. Some have gotten off. Some are still in jail as we speak.
One of those ones I wanted to bring up his mugshot, and it would be the one that's still in jail. She asked, "Who was Harrison Floyd?" It's him. Here he go. This is Harrison Floyd. He's a brother. He's a brother that is actually president of the group Blacks for Trump.
Right.
So he's been affiliated and a Trump supporter for quite some time. I think he actually put his hands on somebody as a part of the crimes and things like that. So I think he might have an assault charge with him. But everybody had some sort of bond. This is the crazy thing, Kenya, that I was talking about with Ivanka, is that like you can even tell like they're crying and moaning and bitching like, oh, we don't want to do this. Oh, I was a government official. Oh, I don't want to be arraigned. So like all these things, they're already getting special privileges or whatever. Like who gets 2 weeks to turn themselves in? That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Like she was already very gracious to announce it last Monday and give them all the way to this coming Friday to turn themselves in before she even filed a warrant. That's number one. She don't do everybody like that. So like they already know you're already not getting like the same justice as that everybody else gets. And then the other thing too is that like then you look at people like Harrison Floyd. Everybody had their own sort of release set up. Except him. He had his good lineup set up. Like he went to the barbershop and got it and like got his little. Well, no, he didn't. I thought he did, but maybe he didn't.
He got his eyebrows arched.
He got his eyebrows arched, but he didn't get that mustache done. Maybe he wanted some scruff going on there because he knew he was going to stay in jail for a few days or whatever. So he wanted a little bit of scruff on there because he ain't want nobody to try him. Because let a nigga try me. He gonna.
He wanted to look good He wanted to be looking good for the brothers up in there. Well, it's great. Well, okay. So here's another thing too. According to CNN, they said that Fannie is asking for the trial of all 19 people to begin on October 23rd. Now, this is really ambitious. This is quick. She's ready to go ahead and handle this and get it done. But of course, Trump, he opposes that. He's trying to prolong this. But of course, because of the election. This is why he's trying to, he's on the campaign trail. He's supposed to be on the campaign trail right now, but he opposes it. But, I'm just glad that we have some people that are really trying to say, you know what, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what color you are. You need to be held accountable for your actions. You tried to overthrow this election.
You tried to take all these votes away from these Georgians who voted against your ass.
Yeah.
Be a better candidate if you want the votes, and then you don't have to have your whole conspiracy cabal of people all trying to. This is like a full house. I love seeing it.
Yeah, I love seeing it too. It'll just be interesting to see though if anybody's going to get some kind of time, some kind of jail time, which I think that they all should.
Yeah, I think most of them are, but the one I'm waiting on is Trump.
Yeah, we all are waiting on Trump. We're waiting to see how this is all going to play out right here. So, of course, we're going to keep you all updated. Of course, follow us at EverybodyMAD Live Podcast on Instagram and also on Facebook, too. We'll let you know what's up. So let's keep things moving, Sam. We got some other stuff to talk about tonight. Oh, one more thing, too, and I just got to throw this out. Do we think that he is going to get some kind of charge? Like, will he get some jail time?
Who, Trump?
Yes. Will they be hard to shake? Will these charges be hard to shake for him?
I think these are harder because they're state charges, so he doesn't have a mechanism to jump in for state charges, and I don't even think Brian Kemp has the ability to pardon those particular charges or whatever. So whatever he's to get, then that's what it is. Now, do I think he's going to be in Fulton County Detention Center serving? No, he ain't going to be that or whatever. He would probably get some sort of cozy little house arrest sort of deal or whatever, because at the end of the day, his crime wasn't violent per se in Georgia, and what he did. So I don't think he would get that. But I think that like he is definitely scared about what's about to happen. Just like these folks right here. Look at these faces. Like this. Well, two of them smiling.
Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
That Jenna, that's a Karen right there, boy. She looks like she's just
straight up Karen. A lot of Karens in there.
Sydney, Kathy. I saw Kathy at Kroger last week.
Complaining, wasn't she?
Right.
Asking for the manager because they wouldn't honor her expired coupon.
Right. And she writes letters. She's a letter writer. Anyway, continue to follow us, Everybody Bad Live Podcast. We'll keep you up on what's going on. Yo, this is crazy right here. Are police targeting Black youth? Check this story out right here. Down in Mississippi, 5 police officers took a 10-year-old by the name of Quantavious Eason into custody. Get this, y'all, for urinating behind his mother's car. We got the story. Y'all check this out right here.
Ooh, they would have took me to jail a whole lot of times.
Me too. Come on.
That's all I did was pee outside.
Ridiculous.
Oh, wrong video. Hold on.
The way my son and my daughter were treated as children, as a mother, I shouldn't have to see that. They shouldn't have had to been through that.
A Greensboro family is suing after a video went viral of the property's manager attempting to remove kids from.
Yeah, this is the
that's the wrong damn story.
I mean, but it's crazy because
sorry, I'm one-handed. Like
but we have a lot of stories regarding kids this week too. That's been, trending right now, so I can understand that. But I just, man, let me tell you, when I was a kid though, man, I'd whip it out and I'd pee any and everywhere. And guess what? Still do it to this day. I'm good for that. I'm good for pulling over on the side of the road. I will pee in a parking lot. I mean, if I have to go, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Especially when it's no bathrooms around. I don't mind running into a business, but yeah, I pull over in the parking lots and pee. I still do it to this day.
Yeah, I
still do it to this day.
I can't even find the clip.
Oh wow. Okay. I do, Tiffany. I really do. Shouts out to Tiffany checking us out. Yeah, I do it. Yeah. But this went down in Mississippi, and they detained,
handcuffed, kicked.
Okay. Nope, that ain't it.
Okay.
That's the other Mississippi story. The story just disappeared.
Well, well, I'll just tell you all what happened, and then we'll try to, just kind of keep you all up on this right here. But the kid, what happened was the mom, she went to go speak to her lawyer. She was talking to her lawyer at the lawyer's office. The son was like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. And he peed behind her car in the parking lot of the lawyer's office. A lawyer saw this, got the son, went in, interrupted her meeting and said, hey, your son is peeing in the parking lot. And the woman was like, okay. The woman actually checked her son and was like, you're not supposed to do that. Why didn't you just come inside? But the boy's sister said, my sister said there wasn't a bathroom in the lawyer's office. He's only like 10 years old. He didn't know any better, right? So the kid is like, he believed his sister. Meanwhile, the officer calls not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 other cars, cop cars and police officers to come rush over here. They took this kid in and they detained this young man. Now, they didn't take him in handcuffs. They didn't take him in or arrest him or anything.
No, but they did take him into the actual police precinct.
But they took him in. He wasn't charged, but they didn't put him in handcuffs, but they took him to the police station. They cited him as being a child in need of services. I don't know what the hell that means right there. But ultimately, one of the officers got fired, okay? One of the officers got fired. And one of the other ones, from what the police station is saying, is going to be disciplined. Now, the other ones they all need to be fired because you don't have anything else to do. Like, it must not be anything going on in that city to say, you know what, we're going to take this 10-year-old down here because he was peeing behind his own mom's car. Come on, man. And then just imagine, like, psychologically, what's that going to do to that young man? Because that young man it's already tough being an young African-American male, but you had to deal with the police in a situation like this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And he's going to always think that. And then they wonder why we grow up in cases where we don't want to call the police and we don't want to reach out to them and we have different fears of them, because this was this was escalated beyond any sort of means, because once Mama was already there and she already chastised him and gave him what he needed, then that was it. You had no need for the government official to get in and then to be a part of this whole melee. Here's a statement from the actual police chief.
Which would have been illegal for an adult under these circumstances. The officer did not observe a parent on the scene during the initial contact, end quote. According to the chief, the woman was located and, quote, she was advised that her child was going to receive a youth court referral for this matter. The officers then transported the 10-year-old to the police station to complete the paperwork, where the child was released to the mother. The child was not handcuffed during this incident, end quote. According to the lawyer, several Senatobia police cruisers were called to the scene. Far too many, says this man.
I don't think more than one policeman needs to show up for, even if it's an adult, of public urination. I don't think you need more than one cop.
In Senatobia, Mike Suriani, WREG.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Clip, but yeah, that's it, and that's what we're talking about, the over policing of our youth, and it's starting at this young age of barely even not even out of elementary school at this point.
Well, that went down in Mississippi. How's about in Michigan? Police in Michigan, they came under fire for arresting a 12-year-old while he was taking out the trash, taking out the trash. You all will not believe this right here. Check this story out right here, man.
All my clips are playing slow today.
Okay. You got the old Kenya Kabine computer over there.
my one-handedness, so it's just adding some extra hurdles for me to jump over. All right. There we go.
Oh, she's pretty.
12-year-old boy, as he was just taking out the trash. They say they were looking for a car thief. ABC's Morgan Norwood joins us with the details. A disturbing story. Morgan, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Janae. This incident is the latest in a string of mistaken identity encounters. Tayshawn Bernard's father says that he knew something was wrong when his 12-year-old took a little longer than usual to take out the trash, right? But when he went outside to check it out, his son was being led away in handcuffs. This morning, growing outrage after police in Lansing, Michigan detained a 12-year-old boy while he was taking out the trash.
The kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Tayshawn Bernard's father says he asked his son to take the trash to their apartment complex's dumpster. Well, when he didn't return after a few minutes, he went outside to find his son handcuffed and being placed in the back of a police cruiser. The boy released moments later, but lawyers for the family say he's still distraught.
He's been so traumatized that he does not want to go outside. He doesn't want to take the trash out. He doesn't even want to check the mail.
The Lansing Police Department posted an explanation on Facebook stating an officer was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Bernard wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him.
Our client wasn't wearing a white shirt. In fact, our client was wearing a light gray colored shirt.
The department also issuing an apology saying, our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve.
He wasn't in the wrong place, nor was this the wrong time.
He was in the right place. Like you're not in the wrong place, wrong time when you're at your house.
Yeah. Well, actually, the 12-year-old actually spoke on the situation and how it made him feel. We have a clip because I can only imagine what was going on through his head.
Crazy.
Yeah, you all check this out.
Shocked and frightened about the situation and how it happened.
This morning, 12-year-old Tayshawn Bernard speaking out for the first time after being handcuffed and detained by Lansing, Michigan police while taking out the trash in what authorities are calling a case of mistaken identity.
And right now I'm feeling just the same way, just really shocked how this could have came to this circumstance of what's going on.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Cell phone video of the incident seen by millions, sparking outrage and a demand for answers.
I was so mad I didn't want to hear anything.
His father, Michael Bernard, horrified and disgusted.
In this time and era in America, I am scared for anything to happen to my son.
Michael says it all started when he asked his son to take the trash out to the dumpster at their apartment complex last Thursday.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
When the preteen didn't return after being gone for several minutes, the father says he looked outside to find Tayshaun surrounded by police.
I saw police around him, so I dropped what I had in my hand and rushed downstairs, and I said to the police officer, I said, why you have my son in handcuffs? What's the problem?
Tayshaun was released moments later, but visibly shaken, turning his back to officers as his father, seen here visibly upset as well, continuing to chastise officers as a neighbor continues to record.
I'm just washing up the dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down?
That's what he did.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma. They traumatized my son.
He's still puzzled until now. He asks a question, what have I done?
The Lansing Police Department posted on Facebook, our officers was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Tayshaun wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him. Attorneys for the boys say Tayshaun did not have on a white shirt.
The shirt that he was wearing was a light gray or a light bluish color shirt. There's no mistaking if you see that shirt.
The department continuing, our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community.
No, see, and that's the thing. It's not a wrong place, wrong time. It's a police error.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it what it is. Like let's that's why we say it's a mistake. Like say you messed up.
Right.
We thought this was the person we was looking for. We messed up. It's our bad.
Mm-hmm.
We should have exercised a little bit more caution. We should not have there even sort of methods that you can talk to the boy, ask him for his ID, have conversations. Right. Like first off, you see him, he looks like somebody you're looking for, and then you just put him in handcuffs. Was he threatening you? Was he making you feel for your safety? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why people don't trust law enforcement, because when it comes to cases like this, and you can easily admit your fault and your wrongdoing, like you choose to kind of talk all around it and say different things about it, and instead of saying what it really is. You messed up. You thought you found a person that you thought you was looking for, and you didn't, and now you messed up. And now the family, they're like, sorry's not good enough for us. So expect a lawsuit or something further to continue from that, because we'll keep following the story. But yeah, that family and that father particularly, he's not accepting that sorry apology, wrong time, no place. So like,
no one should accept that. I think that it should be some kind of lawsuit. They need to sue and get something, because that doesn't make any sense right there. Of course, we'll follow this story. Make sure that you keep up with us, Everybody Mad Live podcast. Here's an update. This happened on January 24th. Remember when we told you about the 6 deputies in Mississippi? They raided a home without a warrant and proceeded to torture Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker. Well, they all pled guilty recently in court to torturing these 2 African-American men. We'll see how things go down with this situation right here. But they, I guess there was so much proof that they said, look, we have to go ahead and plead. Here is a video. You all check it out.
Hours have entered guilty pleas.
I finally gave up. I knew how it was to give up. It wasn't a surviving. It was a hoping I'll make it to the end.
Prosecutors in Mississippi say the officers tortured, used racial slurs, and sexually assaulted the 2 black men inside a Braxton home last January. Court documents reveal the officers, who called themselves the Goon Squad, broke down the door, beat, tased, and threatened to rape Parker and Jenkins while calling them the N-word and monkeys as they accused the men of sleeping with white women.
They come in there and do what they wanted to do, which torture us, and they came to do what they did.
The 5 Rankin County Sheriff's deputies, Brett McAplin, Jeffrey Middleton, Christian Dedman, Hunter Elward, and Daniel Opdyke, were joined by Richland police officer Joshua Hartfield. The federal complaint says one officer put a gun in Jenkins' mouth, pulled the trigger and nearly killed him.
That's crazy.
What did I do? Are these, really officers? Do they do this? Why are they doing it to me?
Authorities say the officers tried to cover up their crime by planting a gun in the home and drugs on the victims after their so-called raid. The officers charged with several crimes, including civil rights violations and obstruction of justice.
In their minds, the law and the Constitution be damned. They became the criminals they swore to protect us from.
Said, my only thing with this situation right here, I hope that they get jail time. If they get off, I don't want them to be able to work. First of all, what they did was horrible. Like, they just need jail time. But, a lot of times we see situations like this where officers, they do get off and then they go work in other states. They just relocate and they start over fresh and new like nothing happened. And then we talked about this before on the show, where these small country towns, they hire them because they need help. Yeah. They need help, and they need police officers because there's a shortage of good help, and they just hire anybody without doing a background check. But for what these guys did, this torturing, attempted rape, you got to do jail time for that. You can't get off on that right there.
Yeah, that's crazy, and it's real disturbing that this is even beyond this. This is on some Emmett Till sort of like 1940s, 50s sort of lynching sort of thing, and it has no place for modern day society, and they need to get everything that the law is going to allow for them. But again, like you said, who knows? Because they're police officers, and this is in Mississippi, so we'll be following it to kind of make sure we're keeping people up to date. But it's sad, but thankfully those two black men are alive, because that's the only reason why the story is even being told. Because if they were not alive, we would not even heard the story. And these 5 officers, 6 officers, or 5 deputies and an officer could be terrorizing Mississippi still.
Yeah, real good point, Seth. We'll follow the story. We'll let you all know what goes down with that. Meanwhile, this happened in North Carolina, and Sed's, well, not in Sed's neck of the woods, because I'm always, I always confuse Greenville and Greensboro and
Carolina.
all the time. Yeah,
everybody do.
I always do that all the time. But anyway, check this out right here. A white apartment manager in North Carolina, she was actually caught on video hitting a black teenager, well, actually a black child, 11 years old, pouring soda on him. She's being taken to court right now by the kid's parents. We have this story. Y'all check it out.
The family's lawyer says they were invited by other kids who live
and offended at the way my son and my daughter were treated. As children, as a mother, I shouldn't have to see that. They shouldn't have had to been through that.
A Greensboro family is suing after a video went viral of the property's manager attempting to remove kids from the property. The family's lawyer says they were invited by other kids who lived there previously and could never have imagined that would happen that day.
They've never been told not to come back at all. So they was on the assumption that everything was okay.
The video shows Jennings taking soda and throwing it on 11-year-old Jace Leary. The family claims before the video, Jennings slapped and pulled their 8-year-old daughter Jayella's hair. Following the incident, Jennings was arrested.
Get a good look at that face.
I know. Yeah, well, she was arrested after that point, but she since gave her reasoning in her side of the story, because every story has 2 sides or 3, depending on who you ask. So we want to give her a little bit of opportunity to also state her case. Here's part of her story.
The other day when he was out there, we asked him to leave, and he was mouthy, and I had a soda in my hand, and I just tossed it on him, and then I just bopped him. I did. I admit I did, but it was wrong. But like I said, when you've done it, and you've done it, and you've done it, and you've asked him not to come back, and he's tearing up everything, and he cusses you out, and you don't know if he's going to hit you again or what he's going to do, I just reacted. But I will say that I'm sorry that I did that. I should have handled it differently.
You thought he was going to hit you.
We talked to the alleged 11-year-old victim, Jace Leary, who admitted he and his sister have visited the pool before.
The family gathered for a small protest at the apartment complex. The boy's father said there should never have been a reason to hit his child.
Grandma allowed them to go to the pool because it's literally right in the next complex through the field. Less than a 2-minute walk.
She said not to come back this time. The other time she never said not to come back. So that's why we kept going. Because it's summer, it's hot, and it's a pool.
Greensboro police.
That couldn't be my child either, Marnita. Like I'm telling you, like that woman would have got her ass beat for that right there. Like the way that she handled this situation, and she knows that she was wrong. She has to do some kind of jail time. Again, here at Everybody Mad, we are big on accountability. She has to be held accountable for her actions. That was some BS what went down.
I mean, but she said she was sorry. She said she was sorry. She said what it was, and like he looked like he got a little smart mouth from time to time. Like he looked like he can get with some wrong folks from time to time or whatever. So
it don't matter though. You're not gonna put your hands on my child though. And she claims that he's done like if she's lying because she said, "Oh well, he hit me before." Well, if he hit you before, then why would you allow him to come back to the pool? That don't make sense, right? Like get in
touch with somebody's parent or something. Hey, your child is coming here. He's not out. See, I think what it is because they don't live in the apartment complex or whatever. So somebody saying something, being a carrier and that sort of thing, and trying to police the pool and that sort of thing. So that's what it is, and it just got overboard and that sort of thing. But the hitting and the drink pouring, all that's assault. So. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Had you done that to a child that I'm close to, you would have already got something handled with you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Leave your comments. We want to hear your thoughts. I see the comments coming in. Marnita, she's leaving comments. G Mac, what's up, cuzzo? He said, touch my kids and you'll see what happens on your local news. Yeah, that part right there. I am with you 110 right there. But yeah, we definitely want to get your comments with the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Now, this story right here is unbelievable. And I will say that I will never, after this story right here said, I will never, ever eat a McDonald's chicken McNugget. Why? Well, because a kid in New Jersey was eating chicken McNuggets and found a piece of a dead mouse in the chicken McNugget. We got the story. We got the story. Like to hear it. Here it go.
Say what?
Yeah. Horrible. Here's the story. Shouts out to Justin over at
to a mouse that was cornered. This is TSR Investigates. A McDonald's chicken McNugget. Love them or hate them. Their website says they're supposed to be tender, juicy, made of all white meat. But one dad says when his 8-year-old son, Aiden, took a bite of one back on August 6th, he got a different kind of meat in his chicken McNugget. When he realized there was a mouse tail inside, he lost it.
And I seen, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I was pissed.
Derek Wilson was so upset. He had to calm himself down before he raced back over to this McDonald's on Central Avenue in East Orange, New Jersey. He lives nearby and says that he has never had a problem and gets Aiden the McNugget meal every time.
He bit the nugget, spit it out, and he was like, Dad, what's this? I'm like, what's what? And then I looked at it. So I immediately, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got upset. I got irate.
He took a picture as proof and took the McNugget to show the manager.
So when I opened up the nugget, you can see, like, I guess it was a part of like a mouse, like the left leg and the tail part of it. That's why I went over there to try to talk to the owner. But they just like brushed me to the side.
They told him to call a corporate complaint number and he left a message, but never got a call back. He told Aiden's mother what happened, who also called. She got no response. So she called the restaurant again.
I asked the lady, I said, did you see the nugget yourself? She was like, I did. She was like, and I said, how did it look to you? She didn't want to say too much, but she was like, I've seen it.
We asked her about Aiden, who's her youngest son, and how he's been since that day.
I made dinner the other day, and he was like, I just want rice and broccoli. I said, you need a meat? He's like, no, I really don't need a meat. So I can tell
I'm a
that
vegan.
it's already going to start affecting him.
It's negligence.
There's clearly a process issue. There's a process failure.
Says attorney Jeremy Robinson, who is now representing the family. He says
Same
the
argument.
restaurant itself is not to blame. It's the corporation as a whole and the manufacturer responsible for flash freezing their chicken McNuggets.
With great privilege comes great responsibility. And so McDonald's, just like any other restaurant that negligently serves an animal in its chicken McNugget to a child who now is going to suffer for the rest of his life with post-traumatic stress disorder, a lawsuit that we will draft will be drafted in negligence.
It's not the first complaint either of this caliber in the news recently. In 2019, a woman sued a McDonald's in Florida over the temperature of a McNugget. It was so hot that it singed her 4-year-old daughter's leg when it fell in her car seat. She suffered severe burns to her thigh. The family sued for $14 million, but they walked away with about $800,000 of it. And this, according to the Herald Ned, a family is now suing a McDonald's in Linwood, Washington, after a 4-year-old found a box cutter with the blade inside of his Happy Meal box. The lawsuit alleges that the knife nearly cut the child and caused them immediate emotional distress.
This is a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar corporation that has to take better care.
Time to get paid. Time to get paid. Let me tell you, that family is about to get paid. They about to get paid. That's all. I mean, there's nothing more to talk about with this story right here. Because if that situation happened to your kid, to someone that you love, you would sue too, rightfully so. And again, it's McDonald's, and they have the money, so easily they could come out $5 million. They probably sue for $10 million, probably get $5 million, because unlike the other story where the girl got burned, this was a dead animal in a chicken nugget.
Yeah. That's it. That's in your processing. Like, that's crazy. And then too, you really can't blame the local store on this. Well, I guess you could. Well, if it's inside, I guess you can't really blame the local store because they get their stuff from the McDonald's corporate
manufacturer.
So.
Shouts out to Tiffany. Tiffany said, "Why can't I find something crazy like that in my bag?" Because you was too, right?
Right.
Yeah, said that's ridiculous right there, man. But again, it makes me like, just seeing that story, I can't eat chicken McNuggets. Now that you've seen that story, said, will you eat at McDonald's and do chicken nuggets?
No, I've been cut McDonald's off like years ago. Like I only eat McDonald's now in a pinch. Like if I'm traveling and I gotta get something right here, there, whatever, or I don't know where or whatever. So yeah, I've kind of cut McDonald's and most fast food out of my diet by now anyway. Yeah, that ain't my ministry to worry about no more. I kind of know what I'm cooking and eating because I do a lot of that at home. So yeah, that's the lesson in that. Cook more of your own food.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't trust folks.
You really can't. Everybody mad debate tonight. We're getting older, and when you get older, you really get sick and tired of certain things that happen in life. So today we want to know, like, what are you starting to dislike more as you get older? And for me, and said, you can attest to this because you've seen this with me before. For some reason, I don't know why, I have like this whole like overload, this sensory overload. Like if I can't, like when someone's in the car, like listening to their music when I'm playing my music, that is way too much for me. I can't take it, and it drives me crazy. Where now it's starting to be a pet peeve. I used to just be like, okay, but now I just can't deal with it no more. It just drives me crazy. So for me, sensory overload, for me, I just don't like that. I also don't like if I go out to eat and I'm going out to eat with like friends and people disconnect and they get on their phone and they're swiping while we're in like adult conversation and I'm trying to have a conversation. Yeah. Like I'm just like, yo, it's time to go. We're adults. Let's have a conversation. And sometimes you have to put these phones down and really connect with your people, So for me, that's probably like, as of right now, those are like my main things. I just really dislike that when I sit down with people and they can't disconnect from their phones. Right. What about you?
we used to do something where you once you get to your dinner, whether you're in a group or whatever, you get your phone and you just put your phone face down.
I do. Yeah.
And just put it face down. But to make a game out of it, whoever's the first person to pick their phone up and look at it, then that person is responsible for the dinner. So just kind of a good way to kind of make it a competition. Stay off your damn phone and stay engaged in the moment that we're in.
Okay.
Whatever. But
I like that. We got to do that next weekend.
Yeah, but that's a pet peeve for me too. But I think I don't know. The older I get, like the more I just don't like people. I don't like. I used to like be a people person. Just used to love being in the middle of just everything. Just in the middle of all the parties, in the middle of all the action, in the middle of all the whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to love to be in the mix. You know. But the older I get, I don't care about the mix. I like to be in my home, in my house, chilling out, watching TV, or just chilling and like just enjoying the views at the crib, or just chilling out or whatever. Like the older I get, I don't like people like I used to do. Like it's been a hell of a lot of shows coming through. We just had Afro Beats or Afro Nation just come.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
It was a dope show. Actually, like I think Detroit's only the second American city is actually come to. So we just had that. We just had LL Cool J in the 50th anniversary. He did it. I ain't gonna none of that stuff. Even though I kind of wanted to go in my spirit, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with all these people. And then I gotta walk, and then people just peopling because they just stupid. People do stupid stuff, and then that irritates me. So I think that's what I am. Like the older I get, it's just like people. Like I'm not old yet to like get off my lawn type of old. But like it's like when I go out and look at people, I just shake my head. I'm like, you just so stupid.
Right. Because people are wilding out. Marnita, she left the comment. She said, women who wear spaghetti straps in their bras is showing. She said that's such a fashion faux pas.
It is. Or like when women wear spaghetti straps, but you can't really see the spaghetti strap because it's stuck in so much meat that is hanging on to where it looks almost like it's nude. It's almost looks like a pierced piece of like a sausage. That's what it looks like. Like you can't see the string, but
you know what? That's horrible. That's horrible, dog. Really. Leave your comments. Tony said home is everything now at my particular age. What up, Tony?
I love home, and like I used to live to be out. Like remember when we was growing up, we home was okay, but it was just like the stopping ground. It was just the base.
Yeah.
Like you was always wanting to go somewhere else. But I love home now.
Yeah, I love home too. Especially, that's how it is when you buy a piece of property, you work on the house and making it your home, and making just putting all your decorations and everything. That's the best part about being home and just inviting your friends over and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm with you. Customizing it to your own. So yeah. Leave your comments, Everybody Mad Live podcast. Yo, so let's talk about this. This actually happened last week, the whole blindside story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Michael Orr, the former offensive lineman from the blindside, the family that took him in, he says that the family that took him in helped him to become this big NFL star and was later portrayed in the movie The Blind Side. Actually lied to him, never adopted him, tricked him into getting a conservatorship. So with that conservatorship, pretty much the family, they had control over Michael's ability to negotiate, to enter any contract, his financial stuff. Like all of this was, they control all of this. And it was kind of weird because he was over the age of 18 years old and really had no physical or psychological disabilities.
Yeah. They said because I guess he didn't really he was kind of not in a parental sort of situation. So they were kind of at the age of 18. They posed to them that this was your adoption sort of papers to sign. So I guess at 18 he didn't read through the contract or understand what they were presenting to them. So that actual adoption contract was actually a conservatorship contract that they were getting him to sign. And he's saying that he has not seen any proceeds from any of this. on that. Now, there have been some back and forth and some other things like that. Like some of the folks have come out and said that he has indeed received a little bit of the funds from that or whatever. But I guess my thing is like, how would you know if he's under a conservatorship and someone else is in control of his money? Like, how do you know those funds are getting to him? But that's what the production studio is saying, that they're saying that well, they're doing damage control, the production studio, because they made $300 million on that movie with Sandra Bullock and all those things like that. So they're in damage control mode, trying to kind of fix the story a little bit so it doesn't look as bad or whatever. But like, to me, it's bad because like, it didn't fulfill the premise of the whole movie in the first place. And a lot of these like white savior films where white people come to rescue black people from our own bad choices and things like that, but they come to save the day because we need you so bad. Thank you, savior, thank you for coming or whatever. So all these little films like this, they love to have these films on there because it needs to be some sort of like mythology to why black people have achieved, or why we've been able to come up, or why you have $1 million athlete now, whatever. It's because he had this white family who swooped in and saved this remedial little learning challenged boy and turned him into something, got him into the University of Mississippi and turned him into a fine, young, outstanding man. And they didn't do none of that or whatever. But people love those stories in America because we love to hold on to this fact that, well, maybe they're holding on to the fact that they just don't think that black people can achieve without them, or without any sort of help and things like that or whatever. But this man had talent. He was big, he was strong, he was fast already. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do any of that. He was already an All-American. So I already had problems with it. I never, ever watched this movie because I had a problem with it, even though I like Sandra Bullock normally. But I never watched this movie because I've always had a problem with storylines like this, because I hate how they twist the reality to turn it into something as if like black people or this black person needed this in order to achieve, and he really didn't.
What kind of sticks out to me in the whole story is that the family is now saying, okay, well, we're gonna let him out of the we're gonna let him. He's a grown ass man. He shouldn't have had that.
He shouldn't have been in the first place.
You should have let him out of the conservatorship after the movie came out. You know what I mean? So he can handle his own funds and handle his money. Like, that's,
he almost 40 years old at this point.
And got a conservatorship. These people are in control of everything. Yeah, that's crazy. And he's not. It's not like there's anything that's mentally off with him. You know, like conservatorships are when you all know why you get these conservatorships sometimes for family members that are physically ill or, you know, mentally ill and stuff of that nature. So this is insane right here.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I hope we find it. Yeah, there's still a lot of back and forth. Everybody's trying to say their side, but he has filed suit, so I imagine this will be in court at some point to determine. But he's not back down. They levied their charges, saying that he tried to shake them down for $15 million before he filed the lawsuit and that sort of thing. So it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, to me, this man was a talented man, and they just saw an opportunity and seized on it. And kind of acted as a booster because they were alum of the University of Mississippi, helped them maybe to kind of sift through there and get into that college. But my thing is, he could have got into any college, being able to sing. So he didn't necessarily need their help at that point. So we'll keep following the story and kind of see where it lands. But that story, it was a whole fake.
Yeah,
fake, and everybody know.
Yep, and by the way, Sandra Bullock should not lose her Oscar because of that either. Some people were saying that she needs to lose her Oscar. She didn't know anything about all this shady stuff going on behind the scenes. So no, she doesn't have to be held accountable for that right there. So that's our take on that right there. Hey, speaking of
Do you have any place to stay tonight?
Yes, I have a place to stay.
Don't you dare lie to me.
Lady, I'm not lying. I'm Peyton Manning. I have a couple of homes.
Come on.
fine, but only because you're freaking me out.
And now this quarterback.
Oh, and Sean says all the pro athletes use futons if they can't find a bed big enough. But I got you something nicer.
Is in a game of life and death.
I've never had one before.
What, a room to yourself?
No, a crazy lady holding me against my will.
Well, I have one now.
Say, where'd you get that from?
Saturday Night Live.
That's crazy, man. Hey, check this out right here. A Karen had a meltdown on an American Airlines flight last month over an imaginary person. I'm sure that you've all seen this video right here. Check this out, and we're going to talk about it because she actually gave an apology after the incident. But this is a wild situation right here.
Stop the plane. Stop the plane!
Let's go over the backstory. Previously.
Nope. Nope. No. So what's going on? No. Stop it. Stop it. No, I need to get the off this plane right now. I need to get the off this plane. We're going to the gate. See what happens. See what happens after this. See what happens. Where's your bag? Is your bag still over there? Yes. See what the happens after she has a bag on her. I don't even give a about my sit down.
License verified, disarm door, standby for all call.
I'm a licensed attorney, so just be careful. I'm a licensed attorney.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
She lost her shit. She really lost her shit. And the person that she was pointing at
before you get on that plane.
Right. The person that she was pointing at was non-existent. She wasn't pointing at the black lady out. She's pointing at an invisible person.
Right.
Yo.
She was probably scared to fly, and then like she done took something either. Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say like alcohol or something like that, but she done took something, probably some sort of hallucinogen, and then got herself kind of worked up or whatever. Then looked over and saw this air man or whatever. Then got freaked all out. Then had these 9/11 vibes or whatever, and then got freaked out thinking she got a like a suicide bomber sitting next to her or some stupid stuff.
Yeah. You know, that's the worst thing that can happen when you're on a plane because you're in such a confined area. So I'm always hoping and praying that I don't get one of those crazy people that are flying on the plane. You know, especially that's why I try to fly Delta because, you know, Delta, I think we talked about this before where Delta is a little bit more upscale. You're not going to really deal with the riffraff and, you know, some hood shit or something crazy that's going to go down. So, you know, like with a situation like this.
She's on American, by the way, too.
Right, she flew American, which is, you know, a quote good airline. It's not
sometimes,
right? Because they've had some incidents.
Dallas is their hub. Dallas and Miami is their hub. So like,
yeah. So I mean, so this incident right here, you know, the whole thing is when you're flying, you really just have to have a cool temperament because we've seen so many videos like this over the past couple of years. Where people actually they lose their shit, you know, they have meltdowns, and it's just you don't want that to happen on a plane because it's already enough that you got to go through TSA and you're traveling, you're trying to get where you're going, especially if you're trying to have a connecting flight.
You know, they might ban your ass from flying their flight forever.
Yeah. I'm sure she's on the note. I'm sure
she.
Here's her
Tiffany
apology.
Gomez, probably better known as the crazy plane lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions, and that was not the case. My use of profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened. We all have our bad moments, some far worse than others, and mine happened to be caught on camera for the whole world to see multiple times. Sorry, trying not to sound like Minnie Mouse.
Those tears, white tears.
Right.
Well, it has been really comical for everyone, and I have highly enjoyed so many of the memes. On the flip side, it is very invasive and unkind, and I don't know what I would do without the love and support of my friends and family. They are loyal to a fault, and I don't know what I did to deserve them.
Oh, girl. Okay.
Okay, you can just cut this because I'm
tired of her. Hold on, but I want to say that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
That mother back there.
Is that the same lady?
That's what I'm trying to say
No,
too.
the same lady.
I don't think it's the same woman. I don't. It's something shady. Something doesn't seem right with that video. That video doesn't match the same woman. I don't know.
That is not the same damn lady. And I can't get both of them on the screen at the same time. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. That is not, that lady and then this lady. They are not the same. Oh, shoot. They are not the same.
That she might have put on a lot of makeup, though. Said
this experience.
So?
I don't know. I'm just playing. I don't know, but I saw people online were saying that that's not the same woman. I just know that woman, she definitely needs to be on the no-fly list. She needs to be banned from ever flying ever again, because she could have a meltdown like that anytime, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna put a video. Actually, there's more video on this. I ain't gonna put it on there because I'm tired of her. And like she just steaming with privilege or whatever. But there's like about 10 minutes of her interacting with police. Police actually had to kick her out of the airport because she was hanging around. She got out the airplane, would not leave. So they told her she had to leave out of the area, and then they made her leave out of the area, out of the outside area too, because if you're not gonna fly, then you can't just be hanging out at the airport, baby girl. Get your ride.
Right.
But we'll put that on our Everybody Mad Facebook page.
Okay.
You can see that body cam video.
Definitely. Let's switch gears. Let's talk entertainment before we wrap things up. You know, Nene Leakes, she's running around Atlanta talking about she's rich and all this. Meanwhile, she's getting sued. She's being taken to court by the owners of the landlord of the Swag Boutique. You know, she had a couple of boutiques here in Atlanta called Swag Boutique. And, you know, the thing is, you know, you got a lot of people that run around. They say, oh, you know, I'm a business owner. I own this. I got all this kind of money. But in actuality, you're renting, you know, you're renting your space, and she's renting out this space for the Swag Boutique. And turns out she owes over $22,000 in unpaid rent to the to the landlords of the Swag. To the landlords of the property where Swag Boutique was sitting on. The business, it just wasn't doing good. It actually closed down during COVID. It didn't survive
COVID.
Yeah,
so it started in 2019. She opened, and then she went through her sort of difficult time during COVID. But is anybody checking for Nene Leakes fashions? Somebody want to look like Nene, or take her?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a female question. I'm sure that the women, they could comment. I see, oh, hey, Juaniki, what's up? My sis Juaniki's checking us out. Marnita, you can answer too. I don't know. But I mean, I will say Nene looks Nene does look good these days, though. Like a lot, you know, that she's looking real good.
Yep, she does.
Money well spent.
Well, not congratulations, but oh well. But she did say she ain't paying that because Greg signed that lease. Greg Y'all better go to the grave and get that 22K. She said Greg signed that, not me. She said y'all better talk to my husband.
Right. Well,
my husband signed that.
Right. Look at Nene dance. Oh boy. Hey, one more story before we wrap things up. You know, for years there's always been lots of speculation about Whoopi Goldberg. I've never really thought this because I always thought that Whoopi was more so into Caucasian men. You know,
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, you know, so I just always just figured, okay, you know, Whoopi likes to get chopped down by white men. That was just always what I thought. Down. Yeah, but you know, there have been people that have speculated on Whoopi's sexuality. Well, Raven-Symone just recently had her on her podcast and actually asked her, was she lesbian? Here's the video. Check it out.
I want to just dig into your business a little bit. Sometimes you get lesbian vibes. You give me like stud vibes.
I think this is a secret fantasy of Raven. I think she just wants everyone to be gay, and she's just really hoping you're going to come out right here, right now. So
women have been asking me this for as long as I've been around. It's like, what do you care who I love?
There's more to that. Do you have the other video?
Nope.
Okay, so Whoopi denies it. Whoopi says that she's not a lesbian. So, because that clip right there could kind of leave you thinking, oh, well, is she gay? But no, Whoopi, she says that she's not. I thought I sent it to you. Hold on, let me see. Said
you might have sent it to me. Yeah, I got another clip.
Yeah, but yeah, Whoopi denied. She said that she's not a lesbian. She said that women have always asked her that for years, and I get it. You know, the way that she dressed, it could be kind of interpreted as a butch lesbian, but she said that she's not. You know, she's not. So
yeah, she said she's been married 3 times to men, 3 men.
Yeah. But I mean, even that don't matter these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people come out like in their 60s now. You know, it's just like. But Whoopi, she said that, you know, has a lot of lesbian friends. She says, but she's not a lesbian at all, you know. Yeah. So there you have it. So Whoopi Goldberg's not gay. Leave it to Raven, though. I love Raven, though. I love Raven, though. That was so funny how Raven, you could tell that they're real cool, because for Raven to even say, okay, you give me lesbian vibes, it's like, they got to be cool for her to say that. Oh, you're looking for the clip, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Leave your comments. Did you all ever think this
froze?
You got it?
I don't know what was going on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, we good.
All right. Say, what you watching this week, man?
What am I watching? What I need to watch is on HBO Max. You know, Winning Time, because it's a. Can you pass me your power cord, because I'm about to die. But Winning Time, the series, the series about the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I want to watch that. I think I told you that I'm watching The Idol with The Weeknd. I am behind on that. So I need to get caught up on that. Lioness, Zoe Saldana,
heard it was
and
good.
Nicole Kidman. I know those are 2 of the bigger names in that. That is on Max 2. Is that HBO Max 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lioness. So that's good. That is about kind of gives you like CSI vibe. So if you like those sort of international sort of crime thrillers and that sort of thing, whatever, I think that'll be good. So those are probably my top 3 right now.
Okay. I am watching All the Queen's Men. I think I might have mentioned that last time we were on the show, but well on BET. Real good show. It's just over the top. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, it's still a good show, and Eva does a real good job on that show. So watching that, and I'm actually watching Just Like That on HBO. That's the Sex and the City spinoff.
Oh yeah.
You know, used to watch Sex and the City back in the day. You know, I would never tell people, you know, but I watched Sex in the City back in the day in the 90s, and I followed the stories of the show. I love that they've incorporated some sisters into the show. Nicole Ari Parker, she's on the show, and they have another young black female too. So it's just real good, but it's such a well-acted show, well-written show, and it's so real. It's just about relationships. It's nothing really fancy to it except the clothes that they wear. They're all rich. They've done really good for themselves, but it's such a well-written and well-acted show. I love Just Like That, so that's my recommendation. And I'm going to start back watching Euphoria because I think Euphoria was just an amazing show, so I'm going to restart watching that again.
Nice. Viral videos of the week. I don't have many. I won't show the story. I'm going to put it online on our Facebook page about there's a couple in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They just got married in February. The wife decided to submit her divorce decree this month in August. 2 days later, her husband shot and killed her. So I want to talk about that story because what has been discovered is that the wife uncovered some interesting facts about her new husband, in that he was engaging in homosexual activity. So we may talk about that coming up in the show. But what I wanted to leave you all with was what I got two actually, because we talked about her so bad when she did wrong. We got to talk about her good when she do right.
Women's 100 World Final. The Jamaicans get out well. It's Sharika Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Talu. Here comes Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri's done it. Sha'Carri Richardson has won the world title.
The fastest woman in the world.
She had to come from behind in the semi, but when it counted, she has done it.
Yes. Okay.
Beat them Jamaicans.
Sha'Carri Richardson has stunned the sprinting world and is a world champion.
Wow.
That's a world championship record, a personal best, but short memory, Lee. After a bad semifinal, she recovered and ran the race necessary to upset the Jamaicans and wrest the world title back from Jamaica. It's back in the United States' hands for the first time since 2017.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
And to me, this is why we talk bad about her, because we knew she was a phenomenal athlete and she could be this.
Yes.
So yeah, we want you to focus on what's right and what you need to focus on, because all that message she was getting into and all the talking and all the girl, that ain't you. Focus on what your gift is and let your gift do the rest or whatever. And we see she's been quiet over the last 2 years. She's been focused. She's been training and ain't said nothing and came out. She was a world champion. So I love to see it. And everybody's happy. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's dancing to the star.
Hey, ass.
And it's on beat too.
The jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby.
That's our viral videos of the week.
That's a wrap for the show. We really appreciate you all checking us out. We had a really good time. Really appreciate everybody checking us out today, checking us out tonight. Don't forget, you could always follow us at EverybodyMAD Live Podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you stream your favorite podcast, you can check us out. We're also on YouTube and we're on Facebook, and we're also on Twitch too. So want to send shouts out to everybody that's been linking with us on those sites. Really appreciate it. You can follow me, Kenya Kabine1 on Facebook, Kenya Kabine on all other social media platforms.
Yep, I'm Sid Lover everywhere, including Threads and the new X or Twitter or whatever it's called. So we won't see you next time because it'll be right in front of the Labor Day weekend, but we'll see you in September. Thank you for being a part of the show. I holla.